I'm Sonicguru, and I want to talk to you about the anime adaptation of Sailor Moon. What? For those who don't know, Sailor Moon is about Usagi Tsuniko, a clumsy middle school student who stumbles upon a talking cat named Luna. Luna tells her that she is destined to be Sailor Moon, champion of love and justice, and she must search out the fabled Moon Princess. Usagi finds friends who turn out to be the destined Senshi as well, such as and together they fight to save the world from certain doom brought upon by the Dark Kingdom. The series lasted for 5 seasons: Sailor Moon, Sailor Moon R, Sailor Moon S, Super S, and Sailor Stars. There was also a few movies and specials, as well as a live action series. Now, while it was greatly popular in Japan, spawning tons of merchandise, it never really caught on as well in the West. Probably because the English dub was produced by Deke. I mean, that's a series I watched growing up. Oh, don't look at me like that. You all watched My Little Pony and both shows were intended for girls. So let's take a look at a handful of Sailor Moon games, starting with the arcade. Released in Japanese arcades in 1995, Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon is a beat-em-up similar to Streets of Rage and Final Fight. You run, punch, flip, and use crystals for the Senshi special attacks, each of which uses animations taken from the show, complete with Japanese cast voiceovers. This is actually a really fun game, as is most beat-em-ups, but with a team of ass-kicking girls. That same year, a similar game was ported to the Super Nintendo and later on the Mega Drive. Unlike the arcade counterpart, there are no crystals. Instead, the Senshi special attacks drain a bit of their life energy, essentially giving the player a risk versus reward scenario. The Mega Drive version features most of the stages from the SNES version, but few were removed and replaced. Also, it does not contain any of the music from the SNES version, with the exception of the main theme song at the title screen. Still sticking with the Super Nintendo, move on to the sequel series Sailor Moon R. And it's another beat 'em up like the previous games, but with the option played as Chibi Moon. Gameplay has been touched up a bit with the Senshi special attacks. You can use the Senshi weapons that drain a bit of life, or the screen clearing attack that drains a lot more. The game has been fan translated that opens up with an intro based on the plot of the series involving Chibi taking her place as Usagi's cousin. You need to watch the show to find out why and who she really is. Up next is the third series, Sailor Moon S on Game Gear. And you know, for a handheld 8-bit system, the graphics are really good, and they have voice clips. And they're weak. You can play as either Sailor Moon or Chibi Moon, and the game plays out like a platformer with some beat-em-up elements. The goal is to collect the 3 talismans at the end of each level, then defeat a boss. It's simple, nothing really much to talk about other than those damn demon wheels! As you can see, it's quite a few games based on Sailor Moon. No, do not fade out, we are not fading, do not do mid-episode breaks, no, no, no!
Watashi wa 孤独な戦士です。私はクッキージャーの擁護者だ。
You know, that guy looked awfully familiar. Anyway, next game. Sailor Moon Super S for the Super Nintendo is a one-on-one fighter. And I need to ask, why does every anime game have to be a fighter? I mean, at least 90% of all anime games are fighters. Why? Because the anime happens to have action and fighting scenes and you think that's all the audience cares about? Maybe, I don't know, they might watch it for the story? No, not every anime game is a fighter. It has to be in the occasional RPG and or adventure game like Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku 2 or One Piece Unlimited Adventure. But they're so few and far between, all the kicks and punches being released year after year. I'm sick of it! Okay, rant over. Anyway, it's a fighter and you can choose between the 10 Senshi: Moon, Chibi, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus and Pluto. I suck at fighting games, but at least the graphics and sounds are good. The next game is a puzzle game, and there have been quite a few Sailor Moon themed puzzle games. So I'll just picked one at random because the one I wanted to show you all was a Puzzle Bobble clone based on Sailor Stars. But it wouldn't work! So here's Kurokurin based on Super S. It's hard to describe what type of puzzle game this is other than like Puyo Pop and Brickbuster, but you control the Lunar Ball to break 2 or more hearts of the same colour, and if more connecting colours land where Luna is, you can chain the combo together. While doing this, you must also unveil more coloured hearts by jumping on the white ones. The goal is to get the 3 talismans to the bottom of the screen before your opponent. It's a rather unique puzzle game, and can the music be any more delightfully happy? The final game in this long run of Sailor Moon games is Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon, Another Story. This game is an RPG. It starts out with an overly long intro, longer than Final Fantasy VI's, in Crystal Tokyo with a rebel group of Senshi planning to change the events of the past to affect the future. In the present, the Senshi are relaxing after the battle with Deathbusters, meaning this takes place after the 3rd season, until the villains from the past come back. From what I've played, there seems to be more story than gameplay, but that's to be expected. But from what gameplay I have played, it's good. As is the case with most RPGs, it has 2 different parts of gameplay. The first one is an overworld exploration where you can access shops, talk with people, walk into random battles, which is the second part. The combat has a standard turn-based battle system. The party consists of up to 5 members and sets out like many Final Fantasy games, Senshi on the right, monsters on the left. You take turns attacking the monsters and use special attacks. I'm not a purveyor of JRPGs except for Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy X, but to me, Sailor Moon Another Story, despite being linear, is overlooked by many. I must add that what you're seeing is a fan translation which is very faithful to the original text. Those are just a handful of Sailor Moon games. I know there's plenty more, including those weird activity sets you get for your family's first computer. But I did this for my fiancée, my future wife. And to you, I say, happy anniversary, my princess.